In June of 2022, Sarah and I got to fly business class from Newark, New Jersey to Singapore. Come along as we show you the seats, the meals, and the amenities. This is Khaki Shorts, where we cover travel, food, and just utter nonsense. After taking a Delta flight from Atlanta to Newark, we stayed one night near the airport and arrived early for our 10:30 a.m. flight. Even though the line was long, check-in went fairly smoothly. After going through security, my least favorite part of traveling, we checked into the Virgin Atlantic Clubhouse Lounge, which Singapore Air was using as their business class lounge. We covered this in a separate video, which you can see by clicking on the link above, or we'll have it at the end of the video and in the description box. We left from gate B53 on an Airbus A350-900ULR, or ultra long range. Our flight, SQ21, only has business class and premium economy seats. No first class and no economy. Business class took up about 60% of the plane. After boarding, we made our way to our seats. The seats on Singapore Air are wider than the ones we had on our Japan Airlines Dallas to Tokyo flight from a few years ago. In the upright position, your seats have a padded seat belt and a large pillow. Ahead is your large television screen. It's not a touch screen, but controlled by a tethered control pad to the side of your seat. In this small cabinet is a bottle of water and your noise-canceling headphones. These are pretty comfortable and do a relatively good job of drowning out noise. They did make my left ear hurt a bit after a while, but I don't think you can wear any headphones for hours on end and not get a little uncomfortable. There are plenty of little storage places around your seat and a mirror behind the door. Honestly, after an almost 19-hour flight, I really don't want to see what I look like. Before takeoff, our flight attendant came around asking if we would like a drink and a snack after we got airborne. I asked for champagne and a mix of almonds and cashews. My flight attendant called us by name as she came around to take the order for our first meal. Book the Cook, where you can pre-order special meals, is not available on this flight. You can pre-order your regular meals, but we weren't sure what we would be in the mood for, so we just ordered during the flight as we went along. After we got to cruising altitude, I checked out what other goodies I had in my seating area. There was a sleep mask, a pair of slippers. My wife is actually still using these around the house in Thailand, and an amenities bag that contains some hand cream and lip balm. The Singapore seats are a bit strange as you can kick your legs out and have quite a bit of room, but if you want to put your feet up in the little foot cave, I'm not sure exactly what else to call this, it's at an angle so you have to kind of turn sideways in your seat to get your feet in there. The seats have controls so you can put up the little footrest or recline, but if you want to turn into a bed, it has to be done manually. I'll show you that a bit later. I kicked back and relaxed, checked out what movies were available on their services, and waited for our first meal, which came out about an hour into the flight. First meal started with a salad, then the main course of grilled salmon with mashed potatoes. They come around with different types of bread to go with your meal. Definitely better than whatever they would have served in economy, if this flight had one. They came around afterwards with desserts. You could choose between a cheese plate, cut fruit, or blueberry cheesecake. I actually asked for fruit and the cheesecake, and they gave me both. You know, you gotta balance the sweets with some fruit. Duh, being healthy. Man, I love business class. Sarah didn't want the salmon, so she went with short ribs. About 2.5 hours into the flight, they turned the lights down. About 3 hours in, I had the flight attendant come and turn my seat down into a bed. Behind my seat were 2 more smaller pillows, along with a small blanket. I tried to get a bit of sleep. I'm usually a side sleeper, so my legs fit into the foot cave pretty well. I actually left my seat in the bed configuration most of the flight, only turning it back into a seat myself about 3 hours before landing. I never sleep well on planes, but I got an hour here and there. I actually slept better later after converting my bed back to a seat and laying on my back, scrunching down propped up with pillows and putting my legs in the foot cave. I actually slept about an hour that way. About 6 hours into the flight, I started getting hungry again. They don't have paper menus, but there are instructions on your screen where you can log onto their Wi-Fi for free and view the menu online. They have several snacks, noodle dishes, and my favorite, a pastrami on rye, which they heated up for me. Probably the best sandwich I've ever had on a flight. After watching some more movies, I trekked to the bathroom to see how fancy they were. Well, they're not, just a standard airplane bathroom, but it gets the job done, so there you go. During the majority of the flights, the lights were dimmed. There were 2 young girls behind us who felt it necessary to yell out for their parents, sing happy birthday at the top of their lungs, and chide each other for farting. Even with the noise-canceling headphones, I could hear them. The parents had no concern with trying to make them keep their voices down or keep them occupied. The parents sat in their business class seats and put their headphones on, effectively ignoring the 2 kids. Definitely an annoyance for almost 19 hours. The only peace we got was when the little hellions were sleeping. About 11 hours in, they served a second meal. I ordered cod with vegetables and some type of black rice, which was horrendous. Not the whole meal, just the rice. No idea what they were thinking with this dish, but my wife and I each had about 2 bites and just ignored the rest of it. Dessert was pretty good, another cup of fruit, and a chocolate mousse. Like any long flight, there were more movies, including a great BBC series about 5-star hotels, and a few short naps. Several times the attendants would come around offering water and other snacks. You could also ring for an attendant anytime during the flight for the noodles, sandwiches, snacks, or drinks. About 16 hours into the flight, I ordered another one of my yummy pastramis on rye. They don't serve a meal right before you land, so I knew this would be my last meal for a while. We only had an hour-and-a-half layover in Singapore before jumping on our short flight to Phuket, Thailand. We did the book the cook on that flight, which was steak, so I knew we would have a meal upcoming. About hour 17, they turned the lights back up and people started returning their beds back to seats. After a safe landing, we made our way into Changi Airport to rush to the other end to catch our next flight, SQ21, also in business class from Singapore to Phuket, our final destination. Hope you enjoyed our business class flight with us. Be sure to like this video and hit the subscribe button and bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos about our new life in Thailand and our travels around Asia.